9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Discussing everything about the afterlife and spirit world. Coming to you all the way from Ireland, it's Sandy Byrne.
This is Sandy, host of the Life After Life podcast. I want to invite you to become a patron of the podcast. For just €5 per month, you will get ad-free content, video episodes, exclusive events and discounts throughout the year as a thank you for your support. Check out the link to my Patreon page in the description box attached, or go to Patreon and search for Life After Life with Sandy Byrne. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Life After Life with me, Sandy Byrne. And this is episode number 108 of the podcast, but episode number 13 of our summer snippet series, where I'm releasing shorter episodes to answer your questions over the summertime. Not that we're having much of a summer, it's still raining here in Tipperary. But anyway, I've had some questions sent in to me, and I want to address one of them because it's something that we all wonder about, and that is, how do spirits spend their time in the afterlife? Okay. And, you know, this question is kind of subjective because it depends how long somebody has been over there. Okay. So, you know, when we cross over to spirit, of course, the first thing that we're going to do is be welcomed by our spirit guides and our loved ones over there. We're going to get reacquainted with them. We're going to get lots of support, you know, because, you know, depending on how we've died, we will need different levels of support when we get over to the spirit world. And then we're going to have, you know, spend time doing our, I suppose, review, our life review, looking back at all the things that, you know, we encountered during our lifetime, the things that we did right, the things that we did wrong, the things that we could have or should have done better, you know, and all of these kind of things. And, you know, we review these things and see where we fell down as spiritual beings. You know, and this does take time. And of course, depending on how you pass over to the spirit world, it can take time for you to become accustomed to that, or, you know, to accept it. Okay. You know, I know from experience with one of my own loved ones, you know, it took a period of 8 to 10 years in earth time for them to accept exactly what had happened to them in life. Okay, because they were, you know, they passed very, very suddenly, and there was a lot going on at the time that they passed. So it did take them a long time in earth years to come to terms with that before they learned to move on and develop spiritually. Okay, and then of course, once you do that, you know, once you have done your life review and seen the things, you know, that maybe you could have or should have done better, you know, you will of course also visit the people that you've left behind, because you're still going to miss them. Just because you cross over to the spirit world doesn't mean that you don't miss the people that you have left behind. So you're going to visit them. And another part of what you will have seen from your life review will be how the decisions or the actions that you've taken in your lifetime, how that has affected people that you've left behind. Okay, so, you know, part of our developing spiritually will be to watch over the people that we've left behind and see the consequences of our actions or our decisions on their life. Because some of those actions or decisions, you know, they will have consequences going forward for generations. Okay, so that, you know, that will take up a lot of time. And, you know, as we progress and as, you know, we spend more time in the spirit world, we will move on. Now, some of us will choose to be reincarnated so that we can develop, you know, develop more spiritually by coming back here and redoing things and relearning things. But a lot of us will choose to spend time in the spirit world, you know, and, you know, working, if you like, over there. So don't spend your lifetime thinking that you're working towards just sitting on a cloud, playing a harp and cleaning your wings, okay? Unfortunately, the spirit world does not work in that way. We all will still have a job to do. Okay, now, you know, that depends on who we were in this lifetime. I lost a friend to a brain aneurysm a few years ago, and I know through connecting with her that, you know, she never got to be a mother in this lifetime. But one of her jobs that she does in the spirit world is that she welcomes children who pass away before their parents and introduces them to their other loved ones that they may not necessarily have known, in the spirit world. So she acts as that intermediary, helping children, because, she loved children, even though she never had any of her own. And this was something that she really wanted to do. Maybe somebody who dies by suicide, they might spend their time in spirit, developing spiritually through helping other victims of suicide, helping them come to terms with and understand, why they left the earth, the world, the physical world in that way, and, why they had to learn that lesson, in order to develop spiritually. And, there's so many different things, circumstances. It would take me forever to go through them all. But, we will work at this. Now, I always recommend a book called 7 Steps to Eternity by Stephen Turov. And I was so lucky to interview Stephen in a previous episode of the podcast. I'll put the link in the description box below. But also, I have discussed this topic in a lot more detail in 2 episodes, in episode 27 and in episode 75. So if you want to delve a little bit, deeper into this subject matter, I will put the links in the description box attached to this podcast so that you can have a listen to that when you have more time, and hopefully I'll explain it a little bit better for you, because it's not necessarily something that you can explain in like a 5-minute summer snippet, but I have done it in the past, so I will direct you towards those episodes if you're interested in delving a little bit further. But I hope that's given you some overview into it, and some understanding that it's not all harp playing and just sitting on a cloud watching over everybody laughing at what we're doing down here. It's much more complex than that, and it's all about spiritual development, because everything we do is for our own goods, that we develop spiritually. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that in some way answers your question. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Life After Life. So until then, take care and stay safe.
Discussing everything about the afterlife and spirit world.